Hey guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival. This is my mini fishing kit. My little tiny mini survival fishing kit. It's nice, it's small, it's compact, it fits almost anywhere. And well, I think it'll catch a wide variety of fish in a variety of situations. But let's get you down on the ground, nice up close. I'll show you what's in it, and then I'll demonstrate it a little bit. Okay. First of all, this is the inner core of a Kinder Surprise. Now, it's... Oh, jeez. Alright, so first of all, this is the inner core of a Kinder Surprise. It's sort of a Easter egg kind of treat, chocolate shell. This is in it, and there's a toy for the kids inside this little, I don't know, bullet housing, whatever. It's my understanding that you can't get these in the United States. I'm not sure if you can get them anywhere else, but apparently it is more of a Canadian thing. You can't buy these in the States, so this might be a little difficult for some of you guys to get a hold of. But so that just pops open. First of all, I have a lure. Just I don't know, a grub with a flicky tail, whatever you call those. I have about, probably somewhere between 30 to 50 feet of fishing line, so I guess we'll say 40 feet. I have 2 of these right angle screws, L screws, 7 screws, I don't know what they're called, to be honest. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 eyelets. And then I have 2 hooks and 2 leaders. Oh, I have 1 leader. Okay. There was supposed to be 2 hooks, 2 leaders, and 2 sinkers. I have 2 hooks, but I have 1 leader and 1 sinker. So we'll just pretend that the other 2 are there. I don't know why they're not. And then this here, and this here still has a purpose, by the way, which I will show in a minute. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get yourself a branch or sapling or something, maybe to start out, maybe around the thickness of your forefinger. Not too thick, not too thin. But the real important part is it has to be live. Okay, you don't want to get a dead piece of wood. They break a little bit too easily. They do snap easy. They don't have as much give to them. And that's important when you're making a survival fishing rod. You want it to kind of act the way a fishing rod generally does, whereas if a fish is going after the bait and it's giving it just a little bit of tug, it's got a bit of give to it. And bigger fish will break smaller branches that are dead fairly easily. Alright. So you kind of clean it up, you smooth it out a little bit. So that while you're manipulating line and doing whatever, it's not likely to catch on anything. You just, doesn't have to be perfect, you know. I mean, it is survival, and survival's, you know, never really pretty. It's generally quick and dirty, but you just want to minimize the amount of things that fishing line's going to catch on while you're doing your thing. Alright, assembly. You want to take the eye hooks and you want to put one sort of down near, just a little up from where your hand is generally going to rest. And then you're going to have one in the middle and one up at the top. So, and I'm not going to do that on camera because that'll be really boring for you guys to sit and watch that. Alright, so, you will notice, eyelet, ooh, I put that on the wrong side. Eyelet and eyelet. It doesn't got to be perfect. I just sort of brought that up, sharpened it a bit, just to bring this up and out of the way of the line as it's going to be used. Maybe a little long, but okay. So now, as obviously, I've used 3 eyelets. The reason for that being, I have 4. I used 3. This is a little bit shorter, so I only need 3. The 4th one is for, you know, just in case a longer pole is able to be gotten, which would be a little bit more effective when the fish is tugging on it. Mine is short because, 1, I'm not really going to fish with it. It's just easier to do a quick and dirty. 2, I'd rather use a branch from a tree rather than to kill a new tree. So branches are shorter than saplings generally. So if you have a longer one, then, you know, you space them out somewhat evenly, one sort of down near one end, one up the other end, and then, you know, evenly spaced or whatever, just to hold the line and keep it moving smoothly. If you want to build a kit like this, you could use 3. I would suggest putting at least 4, but I mean, you could put 5 or 6 in if you want. All depends on, you know, how much action you think you're going to be needing, depending on the fish that you're going for in your area. So you have to customize a lot of this towards the area that you're in and the fish that you're going to be targeting as well. So now it's time for the right angle screws, whichever. Now, that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable because of the way I jam these in here, but alright. You're going to want one sort of here and one sort of here. And that's going to basically hold your line. So I'm going to get these in and I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, well, I broke my tripod, so hopefully we'll be able to finish this video just by sitting it up in a tree and whatnot. But I don't know how well I'm going to be able to demonstrate it now. But the show must go on, right? Okay. Here and here. So the line feeds down through the eyelets and then gets wrapped around here. Here. When you want to remove some line, you could just unravel it, or, okay, come on, you just turn it in and slip some off, and you could feed it into, say, like the current on a river. You could let it go all the way down, more or less to the end of your line if you wanted, and then you just, that's a wee bit tight, but then you just flick it back around and you just bring your line around each one of these until you've reeled it all the way back in. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to accomplish doing an example without a tripod, but I don't know. I'm in a different location. I've got a different stick that I'm using. Same kit construction. I was just about to sort of do the whole fishing part of the video, and a guy come over to me and he said, "Hey man, you're on private property." Now he was super cool about it. He was really nice. But I mean, you know, he was pretty adamant that, you know, private property, he didn't want people messing around. I think I'm okay where I am now. I found a further down the river, I found a little stretch here that I can redo this. And it's actually a few days later. It's a much nicer day out as well, less windy. Good time to do it. So this time I have made a slightly more springy stick, and I've used all 4 of the eyelets on this one, and there's my line, and it just unravels from here. So like I say, you're not casting with this, but I have a river that's sort of running, so I can get it into the water and just sort of let line out and it'll take it down the river. So that's perfect. That's actually good. And a lot of lakes will have a bit of a current, and if it's working for you and not against you, it doesn't matter that you can't cast. And I mean, you know, let's face it, this is a survival fishing kit. This is not, you know, high-end anything. Okay, let's see if I can hopefully do, yeah, I can. All right, so there's my hook and my little lure that I've had in there. And as I'm sure you all remember, it came in this thing here, which is the inner container of a Kinder Surprise Kinder Egg. So here's the part that I thought was really cool. This is why I use this instead of, you know, some other thing. I can now take the line, drop it into the back, close the Kinder Egg. Whoops. Pro tip, you might need to take a pair of pliers or something and close your eyelets, because there's enough space for your fishing line to fall out of. But okay, so now that is now connected, and it should be watertight. That should be a perfect bobber. And because of the way the Kinder Egg is, there's a little piece on the back. There should be enough tension that it won't move around too much when it's on there, but you can adjust how much line you want on the end. So let's get her into the water, let her float down a little bit, bring it back, see if the bobber sinks or if it fills up with water at all, because I haven't tried this yet, but I think this will work. So I hope you can see good enough. There's nowhere really to put my tripod anywhere down here where I could get a decent shot, so hopefully you can see and hear everything fine. It's actually working out pretty good. Now obviously, if you could find some live bait to put on the end of that hook as opposed to a plastic, you know, little rubber lure thing, it would work a whole lot better. But it's kind of cold. It's still early in the year. It's kind of cold for worms and whatnot right now. And I'm already hitting bottom because it's so shallow here. That's why I picked the area that I did. The river was deeper, but, you know, I mean, you got to respect the man, right? So, oh, there we go. I'm sort of dragging on. It's actually working out perfectly. And unfortunately, I can't get the camera down here to do that. And I can't do it like with one hand, you know, kind of whatever, because I don't want to drop it in the water. I've already lost a camera in a lake. But the river's carrying it. The bobber seems to be working just fine. It is, unfortunately, it gets really shallow when there's like a little rapid there, so that's as far as I'm going to be able to go. But I've tied off at the very end of this back post here as well, so that when I come to the end of my line, it's not just going to fall off. So there's a tip for you as well. So let's reel her in. And nope, didn't get any water in it at all. Oh, so that worked out beautifully. So how many little teeny tiny survival fishing kits you know has a bobber in it? And I mean a bobber that's like a decent size that the weight of the bait itself isn't going to drag it underwater. I mean those teeny tiny little ones maybe, but you know, I mean you're catching bait basically with those things. So I think that worked out very well. I'm very happy with that. I've got 2 hooks, sinkers, 30, 40, 50 feet of line, everything I need to build the fishing rod, the whole kind of kit and caboodle, and you know, a really nice bobber as well. It didn't move at all. It stays where I put it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it right there, and you know, I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna try. I've got a couple of these cameras, and I guess if one happens to get destroyed, it's not the end of the world. But here's hoping. I want you guys to get the full experience of my videos here, so let me just see how I can do this. I think I'm good. I think you guys are gonna be able to see here just fine, hopefully. I'll just sort of get over so that you guys can see the bobber and whatnot going. You guys can see that okay, I hope, right? That, I don't know, sort of a mustardy yellow color, I guess. We'll get her down as far as the rapids, maybe. We'll get her down there a little ways. And then we'll bring her back in. Reeling in's a little bit easier than reeling out. And no water, no problem with the seal at all. Worked out just fine. Hopefully you saw it, you know, going down the way. I really like this idea. I really like this idea. And in deeper water, and especially calmer water, this would work out perfectly. I can't really think of any way to make it, like to improve it, to make it cast and be better than it actually is, and still fit inside of the inner egg part. So, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm really happy with this. So once again, the L screws, whatever they're called, and that's basically your reel that's holding the line. Now that's going to be on the side. So when you're holding onto it, it's going to be on your right or left side, depending on whether you're right or left-handed. The first eyelet will be sort of not straight down, not straight out, but sort of on an angle. And the very next one and every one after that will be facing downward, with the circle always pointing forward, all of them. The circle's always pointing forward until you get like to the very end, where you've got your last eyelet basically just providing all that support at the very end. And that is going to give you that kind of springy action that you're going to feel the fish grabbing a hold of if you don't have if you're not using the bobber, if you don't see the bobber at that point, you know, kind of whatever, it's still going to give you that fishing rod springy action by having that on the end there and choosing the right piece of wood, obviously. So, a mini survival fishing kit in the plastic insert of a Kinder Surprise that is also used as the bobber when you're fishing. I like that. I really do like that that idea. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys give this a try and add this to your little mini kits, your bug out bags, your camp packs, whatever you got. Whatever you got, I hope that you can add this to it, because as I understand, you know, they're not really sold outside of Canada, so, you know, bit of a drag. Hopefully you American friends there, hopefully you have some friends in Canada that might be able to mail you some down. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay wild.